Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea Time in the Circle Club. I'm Tyrone here with the lovely Miss Talia, and we are
Hello.
talking Abbott Elementary. Talia just finished. She binged just in time for the
Oh
premiere.
yes.
I've been in love with this show since it's come out. What did you think about the first season and the show in general? Like, are you liking it or?
I'm loving it. This is like my type of show, like
Yeah.
Office, Parks and Rec.
Hmm.
Now this is like my shows that I find comfort,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Just like the little things are so hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And I think this one has definitely like
It's
reached
Yeah, it's
top
it's like a
tier.
yep, it's a mockumentary like The Office and those other shows.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it feels like we haven't had a show like this in so long. Like you always hear about the dramatic ones, or like Euphoria, or Game of Thrones, or it's fantasy, or period
Yeah.
piece, the Crown, or Peaky Blinders, or Squid Game. But this is just like a straight up comedy that everyone's watching. Like this, I would say Schitt's Creek, those
Mm.
two are like the big ones over the last couple of years. Shameless, that, but like this
Mhm.
just feels like, and even the thing about Schitt's Creek and Shameless, like even they're a little bit more potty, but like this is just like clean, funny comedy.
Exactly, exactly. And I felt that same way, yeah, when I was watching that first season.
Hmm.
Just all wholesome content too.
Yes, 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 and like you can appreciate that because it's just like there's some silly humor. It's very relaxed, as you said. It's a very comforting show. Um, who was your favorite character that you liked in season one?
Ooh, honestly, they all kind of were my favorite, but
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to choose between two, it has to be two because I can't just pick one.
Right.
Either Barbara
Mm-hmm.
or Gregory. Uh those are my two favorite right now.
Yeah, I love them, and I love that in this new episode that they were together a lot too. So you get to see them
Mhm.
interact. Like that's the best part about a show like this is like you start to sort of gravitate towards characters, and like even Jacob in the first season, he was sort of annoying a little bit, but then as it went on, you sort of like him.
Yes.
Like Ava, like I
Oh my
want them to
god.
I wanted them to replace her in the beginning. I was so annoyed. She definitely got better. She's sort of like, I hope that her character gets to like change and grow a little bit though.
Yeah.
Like I don't want her to be like, "Oh, I don't care about anything," and silly forever. Like I could see sort of a route like almost like in The Office, Andy Bernard, like how he was in an office for so long, but you knew he wanted, his goal was to be famous or to be remembered or to be like,
Mhm.
And I feel like she would be much like, she's obviously happy being a teacher, but she'd be much happier doing something else, I think. So I think, who knows, maybe season 3, 4, 5, I think we'll see Gregory actually end up being the principal in the end.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, they kind of place it on him with that at the very beginning, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think Ava was also kind of my like top as well. I just
Mm-hmm.
love her silly character, and like I
Yeah.
know she means well with like all of the things she
Right.
does. And
Right.
you see little snippets of her, actually doing something nice, within like the characters in the show and all
Mm-hmm.
that, but at the same time, she's just being a little goofy
Yes,
with
exactly.
herself.
Yeah, and that's what you really love about her. And I think what's interesting too about Gregory is he sort of represents that teacher who, clearly went to college and did the textbook thing and all
Mm,
that. But then, like, when it comes to actually applying things, like, he still has a lot more learning and growing to do.
yeah.
And I think that that happens sometimes in the public school systems where like someone's a principal or a superintendent, but they've never actually taught education or they never actually taught in a class. And so I think it's sort
Mhm.
of, it's cool that they have that representation of it within him to be like, this is the route that you guys should go, versus what's traditionally grown. I what I really loved in particular about season one was that characters like Barbara and Melissa, Cheryl Lee Rolfe and Lisa Ann Walter, like they're older women, but like they have just as much screen time. They're just as prominent characters because I feel like a lot of times in the
Mhm.
industry, as women get older, they don't really get the opportunity to showcase themselves and be like, "Hey, I still got the chops, just like everyone else do." So
Oh
that's
yeah.
another part I really like about the show.
Yeah, and they definitely like I like how equal everyone gets with screen time. Like especially like the the
recurring
custodian.
characters. Yeah,
No, like the custodian. I forget his name. I
Mr.
don't. Did he?
Johnson. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Like even like stuff like that,
yeah.
they still give like roles per episode for each character in that. And I love that so much.
Yeah, I saw a clip where they were talking. It was like one of those shows like Variety or BuzzFeed, and shout out to Quinta Brunson too because she was from
Oh
BuzzFeed.
yeah.
And but it was like a video where like the whole cast was together, and they were talking about Mr. Johnson. His name's William Stanford Davis, and like they were saying like or he said that he felt like he was just another member on the like crew, not just a recurring character, because like the way everyone just like embodied each other and like
Mhm.
I think what's interesting too is with Gregory is like we all know him as Everybody Hates Chris, The Walking Dead, but like he's grown so much as an actor, and like to see him in this position where he gets to work with someone like Cheryl Lee Ralph, like it's just I really think
Yeah.
the whole thing is awesome and wholesome, and like who isn't rooting for him? Like, like who didn't love
I
Everybody Hates
know.
Chris, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's just like rooting for everyone on that show. There's like not like a single person I just don't like, you know?
Yeah, and what's interesting too is like in season one, Tariq, like even though he's sort of not the best boyfriend, like they still don't really like portray him as a bad guy or a bad person. They're
Yes.
like we're just not a good
Mhm.
match. You know what I mean? Like I like that they do that as well because I feel like that's sort of a stereotypical thing where it's like, oh, this person I'm gonna break up with him, so it always has to be ugly. Like I really like how Tariq when he performed for those kids, like he genuinely was happy to do that. You
Yeah,
know?
that was such a funny scene.
Oh, I love that. That's like one of my favorite scenes.
uh
What did you think about the episode tonight? Season 2, episode 1. We're back in it. What did you think?
I I I I loved it. It was definitely up there with like good episodes I've seen so far. It's funny
Yeah.
how like they incorporate also just like the city that they live in. So it was
Mm-hmm.
funny seeing like the mascot there.
Yeah.
And just having a moment with like Gregory at the very end. I was dying. I was like, this is
Yeah,
great.
gritty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and then like you felt so bad for Janine too, like because she's trying to get it all together, and you
Oh
just see it
yeah.
collapsing, and you're like, I also really like too that Jacob, like I feel like it's sort of like a common thing you see in TV shows where it's like, oh, I read something I'm not supposed to read, and then like they just ignore it. But Jacob, like he's such a good friend that he's like, I can't ignore this. Like I saw that this was an issue. Like let me help you. Let me find
Mhm.
another way.
Mhm.
I really like that Joe Byron line where
Oh yeah.
he's like, hopefully Joe Biden will cancel this for me anyways. And what's crazy is he did. He legit did. Like, oh my god.
They're
Like,
probably laughing at that right now. Like,
right, right. They're like, what? And they like did this on the season premiere.
yeah,
So
and I
funny.
also like how like with the show going on, they actually take in more kind of, you know, like relating back to like how other schools are working these days with like
Mm-hmm.
students who might have
Realism.
disability or
Yes.
might have a hearing impairment, like with Jacob learning ASL. Like I love
Yes.
how they incorporate all of that because it's like, every school will work with students with that and,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing it how being displayed on TV and how it's just
Yeah.
a normal thing, that
Totally. It's they show diversity in this show in such a natural way. And like
mhm
there's even like it's diversity not just by, race, it's gender, it's
exactly.
disabilities, it's ways of thinking about something, perspectives. Like they just do a really good way of naturally feeling. And I think that's also why the characters are so likable is because you're watching this and you're like, man, like there's a little bit of hey, that's in real life, that's a real thing, and it just makes it
Mhm.
like very relatable. And I like to like I think in particular that they're obviously from a school that's underserved and like doesn't have all the resources and funding, but
Mhm.
they don't let that be an excuse. They sort of are like, you know what, the situation is what it is, but we have to teach these kids how you have to make the best do of what you got and try to better yourself and others and think about other people. And like it's as you said, it's just so wholesome, it's authentic, it's real.
Mm.
And they don't try to sugarcoat it where someone comes in at the last second and gives them $1 million. They're like, we don't have tables, so let's find a
Exactly.
different way, right? So
Yep.
and I just think that's just like a very beautiful thing that they do with this show too.
Mhm.
um Was there anything else from this episode that you wanted to talk about or caught your eye or anything else?
Well, I'm trying to think of like what predictions might come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that Janine's single,
Yes,
so
yes.
there might be a potential, maybe flirtatious relationship with her and Gregory. I don't
Yep,
know.
yep.
I believe he's dating Taylor,
Yes,
Barbara's
Taylor, which is
daughter.
Barbara's daughter. And that makes me tense too. And like, see, that's the thing that's great about this show too, is like everything's happy go lucky and fun, but underneath it, it's kind of tense because you're like, well, you want Gregory to be with Janine, but that means that Barbara's daughter has to be hurt, maybe, right? So,
Exactly. And they're co-workers, so it's like, will
yeah,
there be tension?
yeah.
It's
I can. It's funny because I can see like where the Office sort of like matured as the seasons went on. You can see that this
hmm
show is already mature and like trying to build stuff for like season
Yeah.
4 and 5 down the line that we'll eventually see. Like even like Jacob and his boyfriend. Like where is that gonna go? We're gonna see more
Oh
with
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forgot about him, Zach, right?
yeah, Zach, and then there was a little line that Janine said tonight where she was like, you know, it was about expectations and like all this stuff, but she had mentioned her relationship with her mom in the first season and how it really wasn't
Yes.
that great, and I think that's why she sees Barbara as like a mother figure, and so I'm curious how down the line how that all comes back into play with things like maybe it's Mother's Day and something happens that really makes her emotional or upset, or maybe something happens with a daughter and her mother and it kind of sparks that too. Like
Mm,
I think there's it's funny because it's like we're only on the first season of this show, but there's so many avenues and potential that they could go.
exactly. Like they haven't even opened up like Pandora's box. Like
No,
they can
like
run with this
the field
now.
trips that they can do, dude.
Oh my God, they
Like,
haven't even touched like any holiday.
yeah,
Like
right, exactly. I really want like one like silly prediction. I really want is I want Tariq to become like a famous rapper, like,
yes. Oh, he
like,
definitely will. He
like,
will. No,
and
no
and
guarantee.
and Janine is so amazing that she's not even gonna be jealous or mad. She's gonna be like, "Good for you," you know. Like that's why I
Yeah.
love. That's why I love Janine too as well. All right, before we go, what is one place field trip wise you would want the Abbott Elementary school to go
Ooh.
to?
Ah. Well, they did the zoo,
Yeah.
so I think I would like to see like a beach day. Because I feel
Okay.
like the beach is it's already hectic when
Yeah.
preparing for it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
when you're there, it's like it can get messy with all that.
Yeah.
So
With the
I'm like,
kids and
with
everything.
kids, I don't even know if schools go to the beach, but
I
I
feel
think
like
that
they
would be
might, like
funny.
a beach or a pond or something.
Or a
Who
pond
knows?
or a lake. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
like a little lake where they can learn about butterflies and insects.
exactly. I'm like thinking like, does Philly even have beaches?
I don't know. If you're from Philly, let us know. Do you guys have
Any
beaches?
any nature thing, like a camping
Yeah,
trip, that would be cool to
yeah.
see.
I think I would like to see them do something like go to a baseball game, or like
Ooh.
they take a school field trip to like a national monument or the White House, or like I want to see them get some crazy opportunity like that, or like a baseball game, and it's like at the baseball game there's all these kids and like maybe they have their own shirt, like Abbott
Aw.
Elementary or something, like I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think that's what I
Okay.
would like to see. But yeah, Abbott Elementary season 2, we're back. Tea time is the place to be if you like Abbott Elementary because we will be making content every single week, having fun with this. This is our first comedy show that
Mm-hmm.
we're doing together. We usually do Euphoria and other trailers and reactions. If there's anything you guys want us to watch or try out, let us know. We're happy to do that. Miss Talia, anything else?
No, I'm just excited for this season.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.